So now the ruling class is desperate to get control of the information. They lost the flow of the information because of the internet. So now they're in the process of scaring boomers into giving their rights away.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how, like, Ron DeSantis banning social media for people under 14? They're doing these slow steps. They're doing these steps. Oh, we're doing it to protect you. Now, this headline and this clip is hilarious. Balance between fighting misinformation and protecting speech on social media gets more complicated.
It's not complicated.
It's not.
Dude, we had a Supreme Court justice argue that the First Amendment was prohibiting the government from protecting us from bad misinformation. Lady, that is what the First Amendment is meant to do. That is the point of the First Amendment, is to protect us from the government deciding what information we're allowed to see, hear, read, think, and know. Get the fuck out of here. A Supreme Court justice. Oh, well, the First Amendment is really inhibiting our ability to censor people. Yeah, that's the point.
Dude, the second that Ketanji Brown Jackson got nominated to the Supreme Court, I knew she was going to be a fucking
She needs to
threat.
resign. That is...
I knew she was going to be a threat. I knew she was going to be a demon, bro. Guys,
Yes.
you don't become a black woman and get that far in society without being shady as fuck. I know you're not allowed to say that, Misty. I know a lot of you guys are not allowed to say this. But if you see a black person in power, just know that is the worst among them. Look at Eric Adams. How you guys think they get there?
Yeah.
Hey, am I gonna get? You guys think that I'm gonna be on the Supreme Court in 30 years?
I would immediately be suspicious of you, honestly. Anybody who reaches that level, I'm side-eyeing you. What'd you do to get there? What? Because I know you did something. Like, I know you changed something. You promised something. Like, you got to sell out to get to that level of power. You know what I mean? You have to. That's why I keep telling people about elections. Do you think that they just let you vote in who is in power? Of course they don't. No, they would never do that. They would never jeopardize their own power. Like,
you buy Pfizer.
You cannot script this shit. You're joking.
I did it.
You're joking. That's amazing. And that is amazing.
There's still people like Cornel West. There's still other quote-unquote leftists and socialists who have no problem with this. I am a fucking communist. It's crazy to me how communists don't understand the problem with a capitalist corporation like Pfizer having the kind of influence that it does. Like, it's unreal to me. And I have to say this as a communist so people don't understand, because Western socialists and communists are embarrassing and are a joke compared to global communists and what real socialists and communists are supposed to be. So I got to come out and explain to you guys, like, no, guys, don't worry, guys. Communists are supposed to be against the corporations. After COVID, all these fucking socialists started being pro
and against the intelligence agencies. What the fuck is going on? Like, everybody's cheering on the CIA and I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like, people who are left are cheering on the CIA and the FBI. What is happening, y'all? And censorship.
This shit crack. I'm gonna get back to the segment, but this shit crack me up. Like, it wasn't planned. This is an ad.
I love that.
Everywhere. That's amazing. You're a socialist, you have no critique of this. And I asked Holly Hawkins this. I asked Cornel. You're a socialist, but you have no critique of Pfizer buying off the media, so media give them positive coverage. You have no critique of Pfizer, a capitalist corporation and institution, buying off our scientists, our doctors. You guys have no problem with that. That's absurd for you to think you're a socialist and communist. Once again, I'm talking to my people here. I'm getting my line in check here, because the amount of socialists and communists I've seen, they're like, oh my God, you guys worry about Pfizer. What are you talking about? Of course we are. They made
Why are you not?
Per second. I'm sorry, I'm getting out off the rails here, but they made $1,000 per second on this. Anyway, I'm about to get in trouble. Let's move on. It was completely unplanned. But how do people not see the problem with that? Anyway, I'm gonna get to the video I was about to play, because this is another version of the video.
Oh, I love this.
Because this is the video.
I have things to say. Oh,
yeah, you already know how to bring this up when you was here, my friend. And I had to make sure we had enough time to get to it. So now this here is what that article is talking about. This is the video they reference. This person here, Kate Starbird, is being referenced by corporate media articles across the spectrum. I just showed you guys one. Why is she being treated as this expert? Anyway, but I know y'all lost it. I'll shut up.
I do have a lot to say. I do have a lot to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up. Play the video. I'm gonna let you go because I know you got a lot to say. Not about me, it's about you. So let's play the video.
Kate Starbird says the social media platforms also often ignored the researchers' suggestions.
The statistics I've seen are just for the Twitter platform, but my understanding is that they responded to about 30% of the things that we sent them. And I think on the majority of those, they put labels.
But just a third.
But just a third, yeah.
And do you suspect that Facebook was the same?
Oh, yeah.
Kate Starbird said,
Come on, Misty, my friend.
She's a misinformation expert. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. That is not a thing. She just made up a title and was like, I'm a misinformation expert. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Imagine the hubris.
Oh my God.
I am the person that I am uniquely qualified to tell you what is true and not true.
Right.
I am uniquely qualified to spot out what is fake and what not fake. No, your ass, you're too dumb. Your dumb ass can't do it. Rely on me. I'm the expert. Listen to me.
Yeah. Yes. Like the audacity for any human being to think that they get to be the decider of what is good information and bad information, and further, what I'm allowed to read for myself, what I'm allowed to see for myself. And in fact, she wants massive social media companies, which everybody uses to communicate, to listen solely to her about what information is allowed to be published on their platforms. She can go fuck herself. This whole misinformation bullshit needs to go away. It is so ridiculous that anybody thinks that there's one human being on planet Earth who knows exactly what is true and what is not, and what is misinformation and what is not. And you know this gets abused. We've seen it get abused. And I'm not going to go where people think I'm going to go because I don't want to get RBN in trouble on YouTube. But we've seen lots of things. How many wars have they lied us into? How many times has Israel been able to lie about what they're doing in Gaza? Now, granted, they get called out and busted for it, but they're allowed to. Who gets it? Rachel Maddow, what if Putin comes and turns off your heat in the middle of winter? Rachel Maddow's never been penalized for that. So that's fine. Authoritative sources are fine. But what they don't want you to see is alternative information, stuff that you would not see from the mainstream. And I don't know about you, but I'm never going to be okay with that. And her job is ridiculous, and she needs to go the fuck away.
Guys,
sorry.
They made up a job title in real time.
Yes.
Like, you've seen it. The job title called fact checker.
Yes.
Isn't it weird that we've seen it develop in real time? We got, you seen PolitiFact, where essentially a Hillary Clinton outlet, literally a Hillary Clinton, and that's not hyperbole, that's proven. Hillary Clinton sponsored outlet, PolitiFact.
Mm-hmm.
They created fact checkers. They created misinformation experts. Now, fam, I have a question for you guys. What program do you sign up for in college? What is the major that gets you the title misinformation expert?
Right? There's no course on that. There's no PhD in misinformation. Now, there will be, because colleges are going to want to take advantage of this.
You already know they got some propaganda
for
bullshit.
Sure. For sure. But regardless, that doesn't mean that you get, again, I don't care how credentialed you are. I don't care what college you went to. I don't care how smart you think you are. I don't care about any of that stuff. You are not going to tell me what information I am allowed to view for myself. That's just not a thing I'm ever going to be okay with. I can judge. I'm quite capable. Am I going to get stuff wrong occasionally? Of course I am. I'm human. That's okay. But I am not okay with letting anybody control the scope of information I'm allowed to absorb and the scope of the conversation. And they already do that, right? They already do that. So no.
You want to see this misinformation expert they had on 60 Minutes, who just so happened to be a giant donor for John Ossoff in the Democratic Party.
Oh.
So they brought on a Democrat to present herself as the purveyor of truth when she is there just to spread talking points for the Democratic Party. Isn't that an interesting grift? And that's something that liberals learned during maybe the last 10 to 15 years in the era of the internet. We're going to disguise ourselves as fact checkers when you just repeat Democratic Party talking points, and then you fact check anything that doesn't go against the Democratic Party. And there are grown-ass adults
who take it seriously
with children, with mortgages, with
college degrees,
grown-ass men that believe that this is a real profession. Nigga, you believe in the Tooth Fairy. You believe in Santa Claus if you believe that this is a real fucking position.
Right?